This is your Barbados Today morning news update for Friday, September 20th, 2019. Thanks for joining us. I'm Carol Williams. We begin with news of one of the most important lessons Prime Minister Mia Mottley says she has learned. It's that leaders should listen to the people. The Prime Minister says failure to do just that has led to the rise of populism around the world, even in the United States. Her comments came during a discussion at the Caval campus of the University of the West Indies last evening. It was titled, An Evening Chat with Women Shaping Global Economic Governance and Trade.
The backlash that we're seeing in populism, in my view, comes in the form of populism, but is really as a result of ordinary people saying, I have been ignored and marginalized for too long. The problem is that what it has given rise to, in too many instances, are those who have been able to more or less better coalesce voices around them. So does Donald Trump have an absolute majority of support in the United States of America for the kind of politics that he is practicing? No. But does he have the majority to win an election? Possibly. And it is largely because we have a state of flux still between those who are ready to stand up and be counted and a system that only admits of success if you get first past the post or if you win an electoral college. But when you look at the actual popular majority, he probably does not reflect the majority opinion of the country or the global community in which he lives.
The umbrella body for trade unions has opened its midterm delegates conference by strongly defending the movement's failure to act in response to the government's austerity program. Over 1,500 public servants have been sent home by the Mia Mottley administration. But Association President Edwin O'Neill says it was a case of damned if you do and damned if you don't.
There are those who will accuse Labour of capitulating and not defending its membership. It is an accusation without foundation and without merit. I suggest that in this environment, Labour leaders took the high road and accepted the greater good for the greater number.
The CTUSAB president also issued a sharp reprimand of some trade unionists whom he did not name, saying the movement is bigger than any individual.
There is no room in the Labour movement, especially at this time, for egos and pride and childish behavior and one-upmanship and threats to persist or to exist. I trust.
Minister of Labour Colin Jordan also called for an end to the division in his address to delegates.
I am calling for some rapprochement, if that is the correct term, where there can be, again, some unity in the movement.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Barbados Today, news you can trust.
Further afield, Dominica has offered to share its post-Hurricane Maria recovery experience with the rest of the Caribbean. Trade Minister Ian Douglas extended the offer in an interview with Barbados Today as the country staged a Thanksgiving celebration last evening 2 years after being devastated by the weather system. In the more immediate future, the minister says Dominica wants to work with the Bahamas, which was hammered by Hurricane Dorian earlier this month, leaving at least 50 people dead.
Be strong. Look to Dominica as your example, as your motivation, as your inspiration. We ask the leaders of the Bahamas to allow us to help them. We send in a contingent of Dominicans over maybe in the next week, of police officers, a lot of volunteers. People have just come forward, tradesmen, carpenters, masons, plumbers, electricians, nurses have just come forward and said they want to go to the Bahamas because they want to share our rebuilding and recovery experience with our fellow Caribbean brothers and sisters. Dominica's experience is not just for Dominica, but it's for the rest of the Caribbean, the region, and the world, because those weather systems are going to be more frequent and more ferocious in the future. So all of us have to embrace and to grasp this whole climate resilient philosophy and ethos, because this is the new norm. This is what we now live. This is our lives.
And internationally, Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has vowed to continue his re-election campaign and yesterday asked for forgiveness after pictures of him in blackface emerged less than 5 weeks before the national vote. He says his privileged upbringing blinded him to the profound harm caused by his past racist acts after more bombshell images surfaced of him in blackface. The Liberal campaign is in full-blown damage control mode over the scandal that threatens to put the Trudeau brand and the party's electoral fortunes in jeopardy.
You've done this obviously more than 2 times. Why?
I think when we recognize, when we reflect on mistakes we made in the past, that's a question that we're always going to be asking. Why did we do that? Why did we think it was okay? Why did we think it was a good idea at the time? It wasn't a good idea. It was a terrible idea. It was something that minimizes and takes advantage of a reality that I have not had to live with, of being discriminated against, of being marginalized, of being judged for the color of my skin, for my language, my background. I come from a place of privilege, and I have endeavored in my life to put the advantages and the opportunities I've been given to serve this country, to fight for people's rights, and I have to recognize that I let a lot of people down.
And that's news, but for the very latest, visit our website at www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, or like us on Facebook. And sign up for breaking news alerts via WhatsApp. We're also on Izumi Media in bus terminals as well as Screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. You can also hear us on Mix 96.9 FM and Capital Media HD 99.3 FM. I'm Carol Williams. Have a good day.